What's up everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do the Brock Purdy career simulation. He is Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Drafted in the 7th round. No one cares about him as a quarterback, but he is getting to start in the NFL. So we're going to sim his career and see what he can do. Madden was definitely not nice to Brock Purdy because he's only a 59 overall with 84 throw power. That's probably the lowest throw power I've seen in Madden given to a quarterback. But we're going to see if we can change his career around and make him one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. So let's jump right into his first season and see what he can do. The first way I'm going to boost his career is by releasing Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance so he can be QB1 in San Francisco, because you know the game likes to put the best quarterback, as starting, and sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want Brock Purdy to start. So we're going to sim year one and see if he's the best QB to ever play. In Brock Purdy's first year as a 49er, he was able to take the 49ers to the playoffs and have a first round bye. So let's look to see what his stats were for the season, or did Christian McCaffrey carry? Brock Purdy did as expected. As a 59 overall, he threw for 3,648 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Definitely not crazy numbers, but for a 59 overall, I'll take it. So let's see if he was able to get any awards this year. As a shock to no one, Brock Purdy did not win, Rookie of the Year. That was Christian Watson, who I just did a career sim on a couple weeks ago. So if you want to watch that, go check it out. It's on my channel. But let's see what he can do in the playoffs and see if he can get this team a Super Bowl ring. No, he couldn't bring a ring to the 49ers this season, but there's always next season. So we're going to sim through the offseason and look at him at the start of next season. At the start of his second year in San Francisco, he is already up to a 64 overall, and they added 2 to his throw power. So let's sim to the end of this season and see if he can make any improvements on what he can do. He was actually able to take the 49ers to the playoffs this year, but let's see if it was because of him or someone else. He had a big time step up from last year to this year, having 4,482 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. I think if he can get those touchdowns higher and those interceptions lower, he has a good chance at winning an MVP in the coming years. Despite having a better year, he wasn't able to take his team to the divisional round of the playoffs, losing to the Buccaneers 35-32 in their playoff game. At the start of Brock Purdy's third year, he's an 68 overall, with the same throw power. So let's see if he can take the 49ers back to the playoffs. Brock Purdy wasn't just able to take the 49ers to the playoffs, he also had a superstar breakout year with 5,040 yards, 47 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. This has a chance at being good enough to win MVP. So let's see if he did that. It wasn't good enough to win MVP. It was about 6th in place to get MVP, but it was still an amazing season, and maybe he'll earn a dev trade off of that, but let's see what he can do in the playoffs. I don't know what Brock Purdy was thinking in the playoffs. He got blown out so bad he didn't score a point. 52-0. There's always next year. Let's see if he got a dev trait and see what overall he's at right now. With that performance, Brock Purdy is up to star development at a 72 overall. He's really turned his career around because he started at a 59 overall. So let's see what he can do in his final year as a 49er. Sadly, in the last year as a 49er, he wasn't able to make the playoffs, but let's see what he did. His production went down in yards, only having 4,465, but he had 41 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. So let's see if it's even close to getting him an MVP. He was one spot closer to getting an MVP, being at number 5. So let's see if he can win an MVP next season. Brock Purdy decided to stay with the 49ers as they offered him a 4-year, $28 million deal. So let's see if he's able to win an MVP or even a Super Bowl with the 49ers. The 49ers were not able to make the playoffs, but let's see what Brock Purdy was able to do in his 5th season with San Francisco. Brock Purdy has taken a couple steps back, only throwing for 4,449 yards, but only 30 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. It's looking more like Season 2 Brock Purdy than Season 3. So let's see if he can get back up to those numbers and see if maybe he can bring this team some success. At the end of Brock Purdy's 5th year as a San Francisco 49er, he's a 76 overall with star development. But keep in mind, he is 26 years old, and most rookies in Madden started this. So he's just getting to the other rookies. So let's see if anything happens in the offseason. In the offseason, Brock Purdy showed his first signs of regression, losing star development. The only thing next is his overalls. So let's see what he can do in Season 6 as a 49er. The 49ers fall short of another playoff berth, and let's see if it's due to Brock Purdy and his regression. Brock Purdy threw a couple hundred more yards and some more touchdowns than last year, but he's still not having that impeccable NFL career that most people might think from Mr. Irrelevant. Brock Purdy has taken the biggest hit in regression we have seen him take. He is now down to a 73 overall with no development trait. Could this be the end of Brock Purdy's career because he is on a contract year this year? Let's see what he can do and see if maybe he can turn his career around from here. And again, the 49ers were not able to make the playoffs at all, and let's see if Brock Purdy is the reason why. Again, we see a drop in touchdowns and about the same yards we've been seeing consistently through his career. So I think Brock Purdy's career may be coming to an end because it doesn't look like he can pick it up and he's on a contract year. So let's see what he does. I'm not too sure where Brock Purdy went. He's not on the 49ers, he's not on any other team, and he's not in free agency. So I'm going to assume he decided to take some other job somewhere else. Maybe he's a QB coach for the 49ers, for all we know. But he didn't have the best career, but for a guy who didn't even think he was going to get a start in the NFL, playing 5 years as a starter is pretty good. So let me know down in the comments below how you think Brock Purdy is going to do the rest of the season. And also make sure to like and subscribe for more football content.